In this video, the secret to my success. So it's all relative, and I know there's a lot of people more successful than me, many, but at 29 years old, I was able to become a millionaire in my net worth, have a multi-million-dollar business, attract my soulmate, and a lot of other things that I'm really proud of and I'm really happy about. And in this video, I wanted to share with you the 3 secrets to my success that have allowed me to manifest the life that I want, things that I imagine, the things that I wasn't sure, are these things really even possible? So I'm gonna break them down for you in this video here. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Make sure you hit the like button right over there, and be sure to check out my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com. I created a free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind to start to erase old limiting beliefs about success so that you could turn your subconscious into a magnet for what you want. So check that out at jakeshypnosis.com for free, and let's dive right into this video. So the very first thing that I started doing was living in the end and having a dream that I could live in that end. And I think that's what happens to most people. So you can ask yourself a simple question. What do I want? Not what do you think you should want? Not what do you think your parents think you should want? Not what does your spouse think you want, or society? What does society want you to want? What do you actually want? Not what have you settled for? What do you want? What do you really want? And this is a question very few people have ever even asked. And it was a question I asked myself. I realized I didn't know what I wanted. I had never asked myself that question because all I did was do what everybody else wanted me to do. And I decided that I was going to drop out of college and backpack around the world and write a book about it. And Wayne Dyer and some of these types of authors were my heroes. So I said, I want to be an author. I want to be a successful author that makes a living doing this work. I want to travel around the world. I want to do all these things. And I started living from the end. I was 19 years old and I decided I was going to leave college at the end of the semester. So I had about a month left, and I would sit in my room and I would close my eyes and I would imagine myself having a book that was translated in tons of languages, and that I was inspiring people from all over the world, and I had this big successful business, and I was this big inspirational voice in the world. And it seemed like a really absurd concept to a 19-year-old college dropout and to everybody that was around me. But I started living from the end at the very beginning. And as it started to develop more and more, I started mentally rehearsing when I started to understand more about the mind. Mentally rehearsing is if you knew what you wanted and you said to yourself, what would happen if I got what I wanted? Mentally rehearse the end. Neville Goddard calls it living from the end. So I started mentally rehearsing myself. I mentally rehearsed myself shaking hands with publishers. I mentally rehearsed myself seeing my books next to Wayne Dyer's in the bookstore. Like, I actually did that. When I self-published my first book, I used to go into Barnes & Noble. I would take my self-published book, and what I would actually do is I would go into Barnes & Noble with my book in my hand, and I would go put it next to Wayne Dyer's books. And I would do this at every Barnes & Noble I went to. I wasn't selling in Barnes & Noble because I was a self-published author nobody heard of, but I started doing that everywhere I went. And I would just leave them there. And I started this whole delusional living in the end, mentally rehearsing as if I had what I wanted. So you can ask yourself, what do I really want? And what would it look like if I had what I wanted? And how could I mentally rehearse that? As time went on, and I self-published that book, and I sold 20,000 copies, and then Penguin Random House gave me a book contract, and my career kept growing. What I started doing is I started going on the internet. And what I started doing is imagining my videos going viral. I would imagine myself sitting down at the computer, refreshing the browser, and seeing all these new subscribers and video views, freaking out, yelling to my wife, Ashley, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you won't believe it. And I would just replay this little snippet over and over. I call that the record player technique. The record player technique is when you Imagine a little snippet of what would happen if you lived from the end and you replayed it over and over and over in your head, practicing mentally rehearsing the excitement. The feeling is what's very important in living from the end. So step number 1 is, what do you really want? What would it look like if you had it? Can you mentally rehearse it and practice feeling as if you already have it? This sends a message to your subconscious mind. I know from experience because it ended up happening. My channel ended up getting over 50 million views in a couple years, and all this time from all the books and seminars and courses and everything I did, I built a multi-million-dollar business, and all these things started happening. And this is step number 1, live from the end. And remember, feeling is the secret. So comment that down below. Feeling is the secret. Comment that down below. Feeling is the secret. Step number 2 is having a supportive partner. I didn't settle. And this is what happens to a lot of people. They end up settling for their environments. Now, I'm not talking just about romance, but that's where most people do settle. They also settle in friendships because they just don't want to be alone. They want to be a Friday night out with someone, talking to someone, hanging out with someone. They don't want to be alone. And what happens if you settle is that you get talked out of your dreams, out of your greatness. And if you're settling, you're not with someone that's going to help you fulfill your dharma. Dharma is the Buddhism word for essentially for purpose. I know that one of the reasons I became as successful as I did in my 20s is because I didn't settle and I met Ashley. And when I was still struggling in my career, Ashley was in credit card debt for basic necessities because I wasn't making enough to support us. She was asked by many people close to her to convince me to quit and to just go get a normal job and say, hey, look, Jake, you're making sporadic money. It's not enough. I'm in credit card debt, and you need to, if we're going to be together, you need to go do something else. And this is what happens to most people. They get talked out of their own dreams and they get an ultimatum, or they just aren't supported enough to begin with, so they never become as successful as they could. Ashley always looked me in the eyes and said, you're going to become a multimillionaire. You're going to become a multimillionaire. You're going to become very successful. You're going to do it. We can do this. You're not going to quit. She did that to me. She would look me in the eyes and she would say, you are a multimillionaire, while she was in credit card debt and I was stressed out for everything. And you have to be able to look around at the people in your life and say, do they believe in your dreams? And you have to love yourself enough to not settle, because if you do, you're always gonna leave your dreams behind. One of the next things that I did is I picked C-type goals. And I know that sounds weird, I'm gonna explain it. I was watching a seminar by Bob Proctor when I was 21 years old, and he went on to explain the different types of goals. He said there's 3 types of goals. There's A-type goals, and that's a goal you know how to do. You make 60 grand and your goal is to do it again. A B-type goal is you make 60 grand and your goal is 65. Your goal is 67, right? It's a goal that you think that you know how to do. You're pretty sure you can accomplish it. Now, a C-type goal is a goal that you don't know how to accomplish. You actually have to change your entire paradigm to accomplish it. You actually have to become a new person. You actually have to change your habits. You actually have to reprogram your mind. You actually have to let go of every single thing that you believed about yourself. You actually have to let go of every single thing that you believed about reality. It's unrealistic. It's nonsense, because it's greater than your senses. It's greater than the world of form. And this is why it's so important. It is nonsense. You don't need to try to defend it from other people. No, this isn't nonsense. I could do it. Yeah, it is nonsense. It's greater than your senses, right? That's all nonsense means. It's greater than the world of form. It's greater than the realistic reality that you've known to know as normal. It's greater than that. But Henry David Thoreau said the point of a goal is not what you get, it's who you become in the process. So who cares if you get it anyways? It's about the growth. It's about changing your paradigm. It's about changing who you are. It's about a shift in consciousness and re-examining everything you believe. You know, Earl Nightingale once said that your belief of something is based off of your evaluation of it. And if you will constantly stop and reevaluate things, you will change your beliefs. So I set a C-type goal. I didn't know how to achieve it. My C-type goal is I wanted to be a world-renowned thought leader, making millions of dollars and inspiring millions of people. So that included selling books that have now been translated into other languages. It included seminars, speaking fees. It included consulting. It included having a YouTube channel, reaching millions of people. And I made that goal for myself when I was 21. And my wife took my little index card where I wrote my goal down and she framed it for me. I didn't know how I was going to achieve that. It seemed like a stupid idea. I mean, it was scary, right? Like, it was scary. But what it did is it made me challenge every single thing that I thought I knew about myself. It made me realize that who I thought of as Jake was actually an illusion, right? My name's Jake Ducey. It's an illusion. That's not who I am. It's just my name, right? The better way to describe myself isn't Jake Ducey. It's that my name is Jake Ducey. And what's a name? A name is just a label. It's not who I am. Who I am is infinite soul. Who I am is one with God. Who I am is a powerful creator, a powerful cosmic creator that has the ability to channel thought waves. Thought waves are cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space. And I have the ability to harness them with my marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful mind. And I can use my own mental faculties, such as imagination, which is really higher dimensional thought. Because there are dimensions beyond what we can see. Imagination is really a higher dimensional thought. And as a powerful being, as a divine being, being one with God, you have the ability to harness imagination and harness cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space. And you can use your imagination to reprogram your subconscious and recreate your environment. Because this right here is just energy. That's all it is. It's actually, it looks like a solid object. It looks like concrete, but it's actually 99.999% empty space if you think about it. That's what science tells us, that everything physical is 99.999% empty space. So what is all this empty space? This empty space is potential. It's potential energy. And you harness energy with your own thoughts. We now know from the observer effect through quantum physics that the subatomic particles actually rearrange themselves and create themselves based off of consciousness. And what this is basically telling us is subatomic particles, which is the little crap that's even smaller than atoms, that little crap that's smaller than atoms, that actually is controlled from consciousness. Consciousness actually creates reality. It doesn't appear like it is, because if you say, well, if consciousness creates reality, why can't I just become a millionaire tomorrow, Jake? Well, it's because you have deep subconscious conditioning and you don't believe that it's possible. And you've had this deep conditioning that's been programmed into you for a very long time. And the majority of consciousness is creating reality subconsciously. We now know this from psychologists. It's called the subconscious mind. That controls 95% of our lives. So in order to break out of that paradigm that's programmed in the subconscious, you have to set a goal that's larger than the you that you've come to know as yourself. So what I'd come to know of myself was a 19-year-old college dropout that sucked at school. I sucked in college. I sucked in high school. I cheated all the time. I was a first-team All-San Diego basketball player. Got into college to play basketball. I wasn't smart. I didn't think I was smart. I never tried. I never applied myself because I always sucked, and I built a protective mechanism off of not trying because I already knew I was going to do bad, so why would I try anyways? I thought I had ADD and ADHD. I was prescribed Adderall and Ritalin when I was in high school and college. And so that was my concept to myself. It was far from being a millionaire in my 20s. And so I had to totally build an entirely new paradigm. And it started with what Earl Nightingale describes. He says that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's not achieving it, it's progressively realizing it. It's progress. It's moving towards something that is greater than yourself or who you know as yourself. It is a worthy ideal. The fact remains, every single day you are trading your life for something. But the question is it worth trading your life for? Something to think about, right? Every single day we're trading our life for something. Everybody is. You cannot wake up in the daytime and not trade your life. Even if you're sleeping, you're trading your life for something. You're just trading it for rest. We're always trading our life for something. But the question is it worth trading your one and only life for? And to set a C-type goal, you must create a worthy ideal. And this is something worth dedicating your life to. Success comes in the process of dedicating your life to that. And when you do dedicate your life to something, mine was to become a world-renowned thought leader, making millions of dollars and inspiring millions of people, awakening the consciousness of the planet, helping people recreate their self-image, realize they're greater than all the crappy limitations they were told by society, and that they could change their self-image. I thought that was a worthy ideal because personally, I think the biggest problem that we have in our world is that a bunch of people think that they aren't good enough and smart enough, and it's created all these problems in our world. And so it was a worthy ideal to me. And so what you have to do is ask yourself, do I even have a goal? Most people don't have a goal. They actually do not have a goal. And by the way, being happy isn't a goal. Being abundant isn't a goal. It has to be a clearly defined objective that you can accomplish. So then the question is it an A-type one? A goal you already know how to do. If most people have goals, if I said, hey, what is your goal? And they said, well, I guess if I had one, it'd be to make 60 grand a year. Well, you already make it. Why? That's not a goal. That's just recreating the same stuff over and over again. So is it an A-type goal, a goal you already know how to do? A B-type goal, a goal that you think you can accomplish? Or a C-type goal? And that's a goal that you don't know how to do. And if you don't know how to do it, what's going to have to happen is you're going to have to re-examine all of your beliefs about reality and all your beliefs about yourself. Because what Earl Nightingale said is so true, is that your beliefs is based off of your evaluation of something. So if you want to change your beliefs, you have to constantly reevaluate yourself and your life. And what you'll find out is you're a limitless, infinite, powerful being, capable of everything that you desire. And this was really my process. I kept re-examining that. I kept reaffirming that I'm a divine being. I kept reaffirming and exploring my true self. My true self not as Jake Ducey, because that's not who I am. This is not Jake. This is not my true self. It's not my true self. I am infinite consciousness, and I'm so lucky to be awake enough to recognize that I am consciousness, and that I am thought energy, and that I am having the ability to harness cosmic energy, cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space, and that there is no such thing as time. There's just infinite energy. I'm one with God. I'm a divine being. I'm capable of everything I desire. I can do it. And when I applied that mindset, it changed my entire life. And so what I invite you to do is comment down below, I'm a divine being. Comment down below, I'm a divine being. Comment that down below, I'm a divine being. And if this video speaks to you, watch it again through, just to make sure you grasp it. Just to make sure you ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Do I know what my goals are? Have I written them down? Are they A-type, B-type, C-type? Have I re-examined my beliefs about myself and who I am? Do I think I'm so-and-so name, whatever your first and last name is, this height, this weight? Do you think you're your past? Because none of that's you. It's just an illusion. Who are you really? You're infinite consciousness, and you get to determine who you are based off of your own free will, based off of what you hold in your imagination. You are a powerful, limitless creator, or you're just Joe Schmo, depending on how you view yourself. So right there down below is my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. Right there down below, it's jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious. I started listening to it every morning and every night, and amazing things started happening. I started attracting opportunities out of nowhere. Videos started going viral. I started getting bookings and corporate speaking gigs to go speak at big companies for a bunch of money. I started just having amazing things happen. And now about 1 million people from all over the world have used it, which in and of itself is amazing. And it's right there down below. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com. So go ahead and use that. Let that help re-examine and rewire your own belief systems about yourself and what you really believe you're capable of. I promise you, you're capable of a lot more than you imagine. So this is Jake Ducey with jakeducey.com. Hit the like button right over there, and right over there on this side to send this out to more people. If you're subscribed, make sure you hit the bell notification. So subscribe and hit the bell notification. You might have subscribed 9 million years ago. but double check that you hit the bell notification right over there, because that's what notifies you for new videos. Leave a comment down below that says, I am a divine being. Have an absolutely great day, and let me know if you enjoy this style of video, and I'll see you next time.